This video is for those people with a device that can't run the Zotero download app. So I'm talking to those with the Chromebooks or perhaps the iPads or another tablet where you've got a browser but you don't have the Zotero main software. First thing is that there's a web version of Zotero which runs from the Zotero website. Now what you need to do is two things. From here, from the Zotero website, you need to go to the download page and you need to have installed the connector. So here I've actually got the connector running already, but you've installed the Edge connector and that allows it to work. The second thing you have to do is make sure that you have an actual Zotero account. So I've already got my Zotero account. That is on your other paperwork. So I'm going to there's nothing here at the moment, but when I log in to my Zotero account here, so here it is, I've got all my details remembered. I've been captured, so I can log into Zotero, and if you look up here, web library appears. And in the web library is everything that I can see from my downloaded version of Zotero. So let's have a look at the web library. Here, there's all my different folders that I've stored over the years. And if I have a folder there, I can use the plus to create a new folder. Say I wanted to something about my ecology assignment. I could create a new folder, and then if I click on that folder, where's it gone? It begins with E. Ecology assignment. Everything I record in Zotero at the moment, if I hit the this one to save it to Zotero, it would go into the folder that I've selected there. Okay. So that's the first thing. We've got into Zotero, we've got the web thing working, and we don't need Zotero to be running in the background for this one. Now, what we can't do with this online version, we can't use that Microsoft Word add-in, but we can do everything else. So let's have a look at that. I'm going to go to a professional skills page that I've got. So here's my professional skills. I've already downloaded some papers into here that I'm going to use later on. And I've got another paper open, so I've got that. And you notice that the icon here has changed to the one with the lines on. So this is ready to save to Zotero. So let's download that paper. I'm going to press there. And it says, is Zotero running? Now this is a preliminary check to see if you're using the desktop version. We're not using the desktop version here. So here in the corner, we enable saving to online library. So I click there. And it's working. It says that an application would like to connect to your account. I'm going to accept the defaults because this is the first time I've done this on my computer. So I accept the defaults. And it's downloaded. It's not taking the full text PDF because actually in my own Zotero I've asked it not to because it's pretty full. But I have got the web link in there. I can go to the PDF if I wanted it. So here I'm back in the web library, and here you can see that I've got an awful lot of papers in here. Oh, there we go. And they're all in alphabetical order by first author. Well, that's sometimes useful, but sometimes you just want to get to the paper you've just put in there. So here I'm missing some of these column headings that I find useful in my desktop version. So if I hit this button here, this column selector, I can add a few different things. I can add publishers in, I can add an item type if I just wanted journal papers, but I'm going to do this one, date added, because that's going to add date added there. And if I click on that one, I can sort by the date added, and now you can see the paper that we added by Yvonne Owen has just appeared right at the top. Okay, that's good because I'm going to move that one into my professional skills folder here. So I'm going to click on that one, I'm going to left click and drag it across, and I'm going to drop it into that folder. Perhaps this was an assignment I was doing or something like that. Okay, so I've got my papers that I want to use. And essentially what Zotero is going to help us with is our referencing. And there's two things we can do here. We can either do the in-text citation. So here, let's go with that. First, I'm going to, so perhaps here, I'm going to write that tamarins can be trained. Let me get rid of that. Can be trained to reduce stress at capture. Okay, and that's what Yvonne's dissertation was with us at Riddle. So here I want to put a reference in there. Now here I've got my Zotero heading. I could have done that, but actually if you've got the Chromebook you don't have that opportunity because you haven't got the Word plugin. Anyway, so I don't need it because when I go back to my web library I can go click on that reference, that's the one I want, and the first one with these lines, that's my citation. So if I click on the citation, there it's given me the proper citation for the citation style American Psychological Association. Now that's quite mainstream out there, but it's not what you need at ARU Riddle. So here what we need to do is if we click on this drop down box, I've got 4 styles stored, but there's 10,000 more, and one of those is cite then write 12. So if I click there and I type in cite them, there's the 10th, 11th, 12th edition with the no et al. That's the one that I want. So I'm going to click on that 4th one. Oh, in fact, I've got add on this side, all the way over there. Look, add. And then I close that. And now when I go to the citation, instead of having the American one in my drop down box, I've now got my 12th edition. There it is. And that is the format. Notice that the ampersand has changed into and. Okay. I copy that to my clipboard and I can put that in my assignment. I can just right click or Control V, paste, and that is the correct citation for that sentence. Notice you can only do one at a time. If you need to do multiples, it doesn't do that. You need to do that yourself by using the semicolons to separate them. I just show you another one here. So here, cows bunch when they get too warm, and that's a paper by Karima Chopra, who has worked with us on that research. So I go back to here. I'm going to go back, close this. There's Chopra et al. I'm choosing this one because there's quite a few authors in this one, so I just want to demonstrate that when I choose the no et al version, no et al doesn't apply to the in-text reference. It only applies to the reference list at the end. So I'll copy that one to my clipboard. I'll go into Word. I'll paste that there. And there, et al is in italics, which is nice and correct. There's a full stop there. And that's my references. So my final thing I want to do is add the references at the end. Perhaps I'll set up a separate section. Okay. So here, this is where I can go back into the web library, and here I can select all of my papers if I want to. I've chosen a book chapter within a book here to show you how that works. So here I'm going to choose this one. There's the Great Grey Owl. Somebody made a nice suggestion of that one the other day. I'm going to select all of these ones. I'm going to leave Dancy out actually. I'm not sure that's set up correctly. Take all of those 5. I'm going to leave that one out. And this one here that looks like library books, so create bibliography. I press that one and there is my reference list all ready to go in alphabetical order, all ready, so I can copy that to my clipboard, go into Word, and I can paste that just there. Now it's done that because the font is followed on from my references font, so I can select all of it and make it, take the bold off it, which I can do here, or Control B. The only thing here is the spacing's not very tidy. So here in Word you want this one. So if you click here you can go to, it's a single spacing, that's fine, but line spacing options, we probably want 12 points between each sentence, and we want to take the tick out of that box. So don't add space between paragraphs, we want to remove that one. So we press OK, and now you can see that looks better as a reference list. And that's everything that we need for your assignment. And here you've got the quotes around the dates, you've got the journal titles in italics, you've got the DOI, and here you've got the book title, the chapter title in these editors of this book. So that is what first class looks like. The only thing we need to tidy up is that in all referencing packages, doesn't matter if you've got the desktop version of Zotero or the best Mendeley version or RefWorks, they always miss out on these things. You look at the italics there. Limacata, that's a Latin phrase. That's your species name. Here, where else? I saw another one, didn't I? Here we are. Sanguinus. That's the tamarin. I need to put that in italics too. Now that's what first class looks like. Thank you for watching.